Imagine you're standing on a cold, wet city street when a screaming red engine suddenly cuts right through the noise. Years ago, a 24-year-old guy drowning in credit card debt watched this exact car, a Ferrari F430 Spider, roll past. His immediate, bitter reaction? Look at that drug dealer. Be honest. Miru yapuru ila fi lainaru. Have you ever felt that exact same flash of bitterness? We see someone clearly winning, and our immediate instinct is to find a reason why they must be cheating. Your internal narrative has become the primary obstacle, reacting with bitterness to the very success you claim to want. This is the trap that catches 99% of people. Confronted with extreme success, they armor themselves with suspicion, jealousy, and anger. But the top 1% look at that exact same driver and ask a different question. What specific financial rules is he following, and which ones am I missing? Nobody is born with a brain hardwired for jealousy. We learn to hate wealth over time, and that learned behavior acts like a firewall against our own potential. Your subconscious is highly efficient. If you train it to hate rich people, it will make absolutely certain you never become one of them. To understand where we start, look at the childhood of Rob Moore, the guy who sneered at the Ferrari. He grew up running around his father's traditional pub. The floors had these garish, heavily patterned carpets that perfectly camouflaged dropped coins. For young Rob, hunting for those lost pounds on a weekend morning was an exciting game. A kid doesn't look at a stack of coins and think greed or evil. They just see a tangible reward for keeping their eyes open and doing the work. At that age, there is no moral weight attached to a handful of change. A child views money as a neutral reward for effort, long before they are taught to be suspicious of it. Then we grow up. We get injected with the same tired myths. Money doesn't buy happiness, getting rich is too hard, and anyone who actually makes it must be corrupt. Those myths create disastrous real-world results. By 24, Rob was buried under massive debt, from maxed-out credit cards, buying 5 expensive TVs for a 2-bedroom house, just to manufacture a feeling of success. When your beliefs about money are broken, you end up buying liabilities you can't afford, desperately trying to mask the insecurity those beliefs created in the first place. Neuroscience calls this negativity bias. When you see massive wealth, your brain senses a threat to your social standing and creates a barrier of judgment to protect your ego from feeling inadequate. This mental trap was diagnosed thousands of years ago. As Chanakya Niti instructs, true intelligence uses the friction of adversity to clear your own path, rather than letting it completely blind you. The vast majority of people use that friction to generate excuses and complain about the system. The few who break out use that exact same friction to build traction. Escaping the trap requires interrogating the financial stories you've been told and choosing better ones. Rob finally hit his breaking point. He realized his bitter attitude was the most expensive debt he carried, and he systematically killed off his excuses. He stopped blaming the economy and focused entirely on providing value. By the time he turned 30, he was a self-made millionaire. And when it came time to reward himself, the very first car he bought was the exact same red Ferrari F430 Spider he had cursed at years earlier. The Ferrari was a trophy, but the actual transformation occurred the moment he decided that his debt to bitterness was no longer worth paying. Listen to me. Me time limited. Me dreams unlimited. You cannot afford to wait. Most people will feel a tiny spike of motivation right now, and then they'll keep scrolling. They'll go right back to being passive observers of someone else's success. If you want to break out, prove it right now. Go into the comments, write down your most toxic, bitter excuse about why you aren't wealthy, and publicly declare that excuse dead. Action creates momentum. Your journey out of the 99% starts the exact second this video ends.